another episode of My 2 Cents. As always, my name is Paul Emerson, and this is My 2 Cents. Today's topic is going to be racially related. The topic is going to be, what is black? And for once, it's not going to be my 2 cents. It's going to be my father's 2 cents. I'm going to introduce my father, Paul Camilo Shields. He goes by the name of ASAR. He's my biological father. He's not just some random black guy picked up off the street. So I want to introduce him, so I'll give him a round of applause, and he's going to answer this question because sometimes my answers are a little too biased. So I'm going to give you the source that most of my knowledge comes from. So ASAR, what is black? What does that mean? And did the African people in the past address themselves as black?
Black is, in reality, to all existence in this universe, the black magic of space is this stuff that we call melanin. Melanin is the creative atmosphere or creative package of materialism from which all manifestations are induced and conduced from. Black is the key carbon atom of life. Anything that exists in this universe is going to be in full need of carbon to sustain itself. This carbon that we're talking about is what makes everything function. Carbon is the exhaust of wasted fuel, and carbon is at the beginning of all things that can be created or generated. As I said before, everything induced and conduced is conduced by this blackness that we have used as a description to identify the melanated people of this earth. In the beginning, the melanated people of this earth used the word black as a collective word for all the human species on this earth, because at that time there was no Caucasians. The soil is black. The blackness of space is the same blackness that you can find synonymous with the blackness encapsulated in the inner vaginal recesses of the female, where all life of mankind is generated from. This blackness is the key, as I said again, if you want to go to the prim evolved, what most people call primeval, I call prim evolved. The prim evolved in the state of undifferentiation was a big piece of blackness. In the beginning, God was in all blackness and spoke, "Let there be light." Blackness is the reason that there is a sun. The overall encompassing reality of everything is encapsulated in blackness. The stars shine at night only because of the contrast of the blackness behind them. The black female, melanated woman of this earth is the mother of all mankind. From her black recessed vagina came even the recessive cracker, a white man. Would be nice. Even if he do hate his mother now, from her blackness is his beginning, according to Paul. ASAR.
So that implies,
okay, go ahead.
That implies that the Caucasian people came from the African people.
Absolutely right, and they all know that. Right. As a matter of fact, the blackness that they throw as a negative understanding of privilege, or the negative acceptance of the skin pigmentation of the melanated man and woman of this earth, this ideal of it being something that should be scorned or looked at as something that is undigestible, should be detested, it's from foolishness, and it's from a lack of knowledge, and it's why the earth is dying. Behind me, this stone behind me, ironic as it might sound, it looks like a technique of what we call a pyramid over in ancient Kemet, or over in what we could call actual Ethiopia, where my ancestors were constructing these things. They was constructed because they knew this day was coming. They also represent resurrection of the black phallus, and other people don't understand that, but that's what it means. So it really disturbs me to see my ancestors' phallus, ASAR's phallus, in St. Petersburg Square over in Rome, the Vatican, where the most racist, atrocious crackers live, and they have the nerves to put that right in the center of their civilized, if you want to call it that, existence of religion, where they only perpetuate nothing but hatred and slavery of the melanated people all over this planet. That's not being hypocritical, and that is being everything other than black. When you find foolishness that creates the type of garbage that's on this earth, and the type of propaganda that makes people hate God, because that's what this blackness is. You're looking into the face of the all-encompassing, all-knowing forms of alchemy that you can attain. All the color brilliance and everything. Blackness is the highest color spectrum of light that you can find, even more powerful than the sun. So I'm just telling you guys this so you can know how stupid you are to try to associate black with something that's being negative. When everything you receive or give has to go into a black hole. And from these black holes is where all manifestation come from and return to.
What separates the mentality of a white supremacist from the mentality of a black supremacist?
A black supremacist don't exist. Doesn't exist. You can say black supremacist only to counterbalance white supremacy. White supremacy is something that came on the earth only because blackness was supreme. If it wasn't for the supremeness of blackness already existing as an abiding principle of the universe, there would not be some white people running around on this earth trying to establish white supremacy. White supremacy is a foolish attempt to eradicate what the universe put here naturally as black supremacy or just blackness. Has no reason to try to address itself as supremacy because it knows that it is abiding. The word supreme will come from a point of someone manifesting an ego that will want to try to make them be greater than they really are. So you have to create something that you can make yourself a podium to stand on, eradicate, downgrade in order to elevate yourself. And most of the time people will build stairs just to walk all over them so they could get up on top. Never ever pay attention to the attribute that the stairs give, but always stand up on the podium, never give credit to the stairs. That's like these crazy ass people that came from black people and I want to look at black people as something that you could just walk over and stand on and look stupid at. But we got pyramids and shit all over the planet that, you know, we knew this day was coming before it even got here. So that's how powerful this blackness is that we're talking about.
One more question before you go.
Sure.
The indigenous Americans,
yes,
when it comes to anthropology and the study of human history.
Right.
The indigenous Americans, not the Native Americans, but the indigenous Americans.
I understand. Mm-hmm.
Their ethnicity, would you consider, was it close to what you would describe as an African?
Of course it was. It's not even something that should be challenged. The fact of the matter is, again, the Europeans needed a reason to stand on something, so they came here, stole this land from the family of the same family, the ones that was in the Nile Valley, managed to make it over here. But the fact that you want everyone to believe that these were TP living people that had no civilized intelligence is crap. You could go all down through Brazil, Central America, Argentina, Guatemala, even here in North America, and you can see the structures are still remaining that these people were building years ago. They got underground elaborate tunnels, 1,500, 1,700, 2,000 miles underground here in North America, as well as all the way down to Guatemala. And they know that the civilization of these people had already prophesied the arrival of the Caucasian man, and when he showed up, they went underground and got in this ship and left here. And people want to believe now that all these UFOs, they're not a UFO to me, I know what they are. They are extra-dimensional beings that live right here on this planet with us. That is my ancestors from the past and the future. That is that intelligent, because that's this blackness we're talking about. That's how smart it is. So the people that was here when they got here were the same black people. Right. This melanin that we're talking about is the same melanin that's in every life form in this universe, including the Caucasians. The problem is that other than accepting the fact that they are melanin recessive, they want to make the natural people be the abnormal people, and then they want their abnormality to be on top as the normality. And the only way you can do that is through eradication of what is the original form. So you got to lie about everything, murder and kill, just like what you see them doing right now. And that stuff is nothing but criminal acts against the universe. And you will be held accountable for it. It's simple. You will be, every action has a consequence. And you're not going to walk around here and poison the water, poison the air, steal news from people, murder them, steal their whole knowledge, and then denationalize them after 500 years of atrocious slavery, and then lie and say they enslaved you. All this stuff that has happened is the reason why these corporations are turning around doing the same shit back to them, because the corporations set up all this stuff.
You said it was called reciprocity, right?
Reciprocity is you get out what you put in. Okay, now check this out. These corporations a long time ago, they knew that there was one family on this earth. And the fact that this family has so much unity stopped evil from being able to manifest. Because as soon as someone came to you and said, me and you going to get together and sell your brother, like you get in their Bible stories, you knew that was taboo. Right away you would say, you out your mind. But Europeans have a Bible that tell you 4 brothers conspired to sell their brother, and nobody did nothing about it. They totally accepted. Everybody in our religion don't understand that this religion is telling you these type of things are supposed to happen, and you're not even supposed to make a fuss over them. But for years, the divine African family never thought about doing any of those crazy things. So, in order for this type of wickedness to come on the earth, you had to destroy the person who was always opposition to that, and that was the black man and the black woman. So another opposing God, which was a melanated being, also extracted the melanin from the melanated people and created the Caucasian devil for the specific objective and the specific job of creating chaos and hell on earth like what we got right now. Because the extraction of melanin is the removal of all the connection with the divine principles. And if you think I'm lying about that, then I just want you to really start paying attention to what's going on. Look at Europe and see how everyone over there has universal health care. I wonder why. Oh, because the people here in America are slaves to the Europeans and they pay for it. The whole slave act of the incarceration and the murder of the black race of man and woman and their little children, because they had 5 to 6-year-old little kids working in those cotton fields all day. And you better believe these children are children of God. And God's sitting there looking like, oh, I'm going to deal with them. Don't even worry about it. It's coming. Prepare. That's it. That's what black is. Black is the God that's getting ready to tear your ass up for all the evil shit you've done. Peace out.
All right. No,
I gotta go. I'll see you later, okay? Unless you got one more question.
Nope.
You're good?
Yeah,
okay, enjoy your day.
Anyway,
I hate to drop that like that, but you know, I have to say what God tells me to say, and that's all I'm gonna do. I ain't afraid of nothing.
No, I know.
Okay, peace.
Yep. As always, my name is Paul Emerson, and that was my father's 2 cents.